All right. I think I fixed the problem. Just get myself situated here. Okay. So now it looks like I have an issue. All right, because the window that I was looking at where I get to see the chat is not there. That's great. So it looks, I can see over here it's working. Because how I do my setup here, by the way, is like I'm sitting at my couch. I have like a desktop rig over there with like all these cords that connect from here to over there. So I've got like a little screen where I can see it going over there, but it's too far away to see the comments. Got to see the comments. So I have right here, actually like lift it up and show you. I've got a little laptop here where I can look at those comments. So let me find that stream. So I'm watching my own stream so I can see the comments and also leave them. Okay, beautiful. We're going, everybody. And for anyone that saw the last attempt at making a stream a few minutes ago, I tried to make one, and I think I figured out what the problem is. I've been, like I said, I have like this net going across of cords from here to there, and I think the USB port I was plugging into was just like, it was kind of like jiggling a little bit in there, like the cord was jiggling, and it wasn't giving me like a firm connection. So now I think we're good. I hope so. If not, we'll have to do like potato vision again. Like last time I tried doing a live stream, it kept giving me issues, and then I just used my laptop camera, which looks terrible, but it works. So that might have to happen if this doesn't work. I think we're okay. So if anybody has any questions as we're going through, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring up a couple little topics that I have, and then take a minute to answer questions, and then move on to another topic, and we'll kind of break it up that way, just so we don't have like a huge Q&A. If anybody has sent a super chat, I give priority to those, but there's no no pressure or anything. You don't have to give a super chat. I just do it, give priority to be polite, and I want to make sure to respond to those before they skip by super fast in my little stream here. So yeah, let's start things off by answering a question. What a typical time asks, when will I dig deep into grapes? I feel like I have. I feel like I've done a pretty big deep dive into grapes because a few years, I guess it was a few years ago now. I feel like I've lost last year, so probably like 4 years ago now. I went over to my friend Stephen Murray, who you've seen on the channel. I went to his farm, and he grows like a million different grape varieties and all like these bizarre varieties of grapes that are like, they're kind of like top secret. Like they don't exist. They're ones that have been like made in a lab, and he's like selling them. They're like special hybrid grapes. So when I went there for that trip, I think I made like 4 different grape videos or something. There were like a lot. In each grape video, I reviewed like 4 or 5 different grape varieties. So I've reviewed a lot of grapes. I think like maybe like one big mega video of grapes could be a way to like fully address everything. But yeah, I think if I were to do that, it would have to be a different angle, not about reviewing different varieties, but doing like a deep dive into like the history of grapes. That maybe is a good idea for a deep dive, to kind of go into some of the more historical uses of grapes, making wine, making grape juice and raisins and whatnot. There's I'm sure like a lot of really cool history to that. But as far as varieties go, got grapes pretty well covered. All right, so I'm gonna start with I've got like a little list here of things I want to talk about today. I wanted to mention something else about last time I did a live stream. Besides the fact that just the quality was pretty rough, I didn't realize this at the time, but during that live stream, I accidentally ate turtles. And you heard me right. Turtles, like actual turtles. See, what happened is I was sent a box full of snack food that somebody very kindly sent to me, but mixed in that it was like all these random things, like different sorts of cookies and crackers and things like that. But it was all stuff from a Korean supermarket, H Mart. And in the last video, I reviewed this like jelly drink. It looked kind of like a bubble tea sort of thing, and it had a black gel in it. And I'm drinking this thing, and I assumed that the gel in it was grass jelly. So the grass jelly is like kind of like Jello, but they use like some grass type plant in order to make this Jello. Totally vegan. However, there is another way to make Jello that is used in some parts of Asia that uses turtles. I think it specifically uses turtle shells, because I guess turtle shell has I'm not sure, collagen or some sort of special type of gelatin or something. And in some Asian countries, it is believed that's really healthy. So there are a bunch of products out there that actually have this in it, and it's something I'm aware of. I'm aware of turtle jelly. I think the actual product is like, I'm sure if we have any viewers from an Asian country that has this, I'm sure you know the name. I think it's Gailingao or something. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, and I'm aware of this thing. So anytime I get a jelly product, I will like read through the ingredients on a package just to make sure there's no, because I don't eat gelatin. So I'll make sure there's no gelatin or anything like that. And on this particular product, it didn't say gelatin. Like I scoured through the whole thing, and after I made the video, I was just like looking at the package, and in the ingredients, it had, how it'll have an ingredient and then in parentheses afterwards, it'll give more detail of those ingredients. So it'll say like spices and then parentheses and say what those spices are. In this case, it said like herbal mixture or something like that. So when I first looked at the product before I had it on camera, I just saw herbal mixture and I kind of glanced over it. But then looking back in that herbal mixture, so it said herbal mixture or whatever, and then parentheses, and it listed, like whatever, like mint and bee balm and oregano, and it was other things, obviously. But then it said red slider, and that's a turtle. That's a turtle. It was just mixed in with the herbs, guys. So yeah, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat that, and that was actually the second time that I've eaten that particular jelly without realizing that I was eating turtles, and I ate turtles. But this time it was documented. So now if you want to watch a vegetarian eat turtle jelly, it is out there on YouTube. The first time I had it, I just ordered it on a menu at a restaurant, at a Chinese restaurant. I saw like a dessert, and I just ordered it. It was called something else. It was called herbal jelly, and I was eating it, and then I realized that it had turtles in it. Somebody pointed out to me. So I've eaten turtle jelly 2 times as a vegetarian, which I think is, at least in the U.S., it's more than most meat eaters would eat. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's a fun fact about the last live stream. I think it's time for another question. If anyone has any questions, let me see here. Something about gardening says, "Do I feel weird about eating the turtle jelly?" Yeah, a little bit. I was raised vegetarian. I've been vegetarian my almost my entire life. The last memory I have of eating meat, I was 4 years old, and my grandmother, my Polish grandmother, gave me liverwurst, and I remember that flavor. I remember that. I actually liked it, but yeah, when I was 4 years old, the last piece of meat I remember having was liverwurst. Also, she gave me like a lot of bologna and other kinds of like meats like that. So that it's been a long time, and the thing with meat, like there's a lot of reasons why I'm vegetarian. I'm not like a militant vegetarian. I don't go out and like try to convert other people to be vegetarians or anything like that. It's just like it's how I was raised. I've got my reasons, but you know, other people have their reasons for eating meat. So I try not to be pushy about vegetarianism on this channel. But for my own personal reasons, I don't want to get sick is one big reason. Anytime that I eat anything that has meat in it, like even like chicken broth or anything like that, and I don't realize it, I'll feel sick. Like, so there've been a few instances in my life where I've eaten like some soup, and then afterwards I wonder why I feel like total garbage like an hour later. And every single time I've looked, and it had some sort of animal product in it. So eating that makes me ill. And yeah, it's like meat to me is just not really food. It kind of like, I don't know, it grosses me out. It's like if someone said like, oh, you just ate like a bug or something, and be like, you know, it's not gonna like ruin my week or anything, but it just kind of doesn't sit well with me, you know. So I don't know. I've been a vegetarian for a really long time, so I kind of like, it feels weird to kind of cross that bound for a few reasons. Okay, so let's move on to non-turtle eating topics. I've got some, and I'm going to review something on the channel or on this stream later. I've got with me a couple of, I'll tease them now. I've got a couple of freeze-dried fruits. These here are freeze-dried jaboticabas, which I love jaboticabas. Really, really good. Those were sent to me a while ago. And I also have freeze-dried Aki Fruit. So I'll be trying that. That's going to be really interesting. But just going to tease that for now. Let's. I want to bring up this this topic first. So I was sent a lot of citruses the other day, probably like it was a few weeks ago now. Not maybe like 3 weeks ago. I was sent a big box full of citruses. I think it was 21 different citruses, all of them very difficult to find also. These are like rare citrus hybrids. And why this happened is for those that aren't anybody who like grows plants, but if you do grow plants, you probably know the name CRFG, which is the California Rare Fruit Growers. This is an organization where people who grow plants, specifically rare plants, have like a resource for information, and they have different events and meetings that they do. They'll have like lectures, and it's an organization for people that grow rare fruit, basically. I'm not a member because I don't grow anything in my little New York City apartment. But one of the things that this organization does is they'll have tasting events. So what they'll do is everybody who grows plants will gather and bring like a couple things from their collections. They'll cut them up and they'll do like a little tasting. I apologize for any sirens you might hear, guys. It's New York City. It happens. And this year they weren't able to do it because of the coronavirus. So having a meeting where a bunch of people gather around a table and nibble at fruit, it's not the safest thing to do right now with COVID. So they had to cancel this event. But they still have all these things, and they wanted to do some sort of tasting of these things. So one of the members reached out to me and arranged for me to do a tasting of some of their collection, which is like incredible. Such an incredible opportunity, and I'm like really, really honored to have been chosen for that, where they want me and my weird channel to do a review of these, to do my own tasting virtually, in lieu of having a live event. So yeah, they sent me like 21 different citrus fruits that several members grew, and I, over the past few weeks, have been going through and reviewing these. I've been filming them. And I should point out, this is not all of CRFG. CRFG is a huge organization. They've got chapters all across the country. They're like a worldwide organization, even though they started in California. So this is the Monterey Bay chapter in California, as arranged this with me. So there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of really cool stuff. I've got some yuzu and another one that the Shangwan lemon, which is related to yuzu, but it's a different type of hybrid. There's a few like really, really rare kumquat hybrids, like kumquats mixed with limes and kumquats mixed with mandarins and kumquats mixed with other things. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a couple like really bizarre ones in there that deserve like their own episode just on their own, because there's a lot to talk about. And then there's the other ones where I do a comparison with several different citruses that kind of like are of the same group. So a couple different grapefruits, a couple different oranges, and stuff like that. So that's going to be actually going on in future episodes, probably for the next 2, maybe 3 months going forward. And so it's not just like citrus like every episode for several weeks. I'm going to be mixing them in. I wanted to make it fairly timely, because this is an event that they weren't able to do, and they would normally do it right now, which is around citrus season, actually like a few weeks ago, actually, but they would normally have the event now. And so I want to put some of the videos out with some priority, just so it's around the same time of when this would be going on. So the next one is actually going to be tomorrow. The first one is going to be tomorrow. So if you tune in tomorrow evening here on the Eastern Standard Time, I'll be posting the first of, I don't know how many there are. There's probably like at least 10 different videos on citruses that'll be coming up. So that's going to start tomorrow, and it'll be going on for a few weeks. And there's some cool stuff in there, some really, really cool stuff. So yeah, in case anyone from the Monterey Bay chapter of CRFG is watching, thank you. Thank you so much. This is going to be a lot of fun going forward. So I'm really excited to get the opportunity and also like share some of these cool things that they sent me with all the viewers watching. So it'll be a good time. So I'm going to take another moment to answer a question. If anyone has a question, feel free to ask now. I'm taking a sip of water here. Quinton Adams asked, can I do more fruits that are related to the cacao in the Theobroma genus? I would like to. I would really, really like to. If you haven't seen it, I did one video on the Copua soup. So first, let me just like make every because I know I get people who are growing cacao in their backyard and some people who might not know too much about it. But cacao is obviously where we get chocolate. So cacao is a big pod. You crack it open. It's full of little white fruit. They're like little nuggets of white pulp. It's got like kind of like a slimy texture to it. Inside that, you get a seed, and that is cacao. You can eat it raw, but it is usually like fermented, dried, and roasted, and a bunch of other stuff to make chocolate. But cacao has relatives. So Theobroma cacao is just one species of Theobroma. Theobroma is the genus. There is also one called a Theobroma bicolor, which is a really, really interesting one that people actually do make chocolate out of. It looks really neat. It's like really big and it's got kind of like a webbing on the outside. It looks like, it doesn't really look exactly like a regular cacao pod, but it has a weird look to it. And the thing with that is that people do use the seeds like you do with chocolate, and they go through the process and they make, I think they call it Jaguar chocolate using the Theobroma bicolor. But you can also eat the flesh. The flesh around the seeds on that one is actually used. With cacao pods, people use it, but it's not like a common thing. With Theobroma bicolor, it's actually like kind of cultivated that way. So there's more fruit flesh in there. The Theobroma cacao, it's only like a little teeny bit of flesh around the seed. But with bicolor, it's like a pretty chunky amount of it. I've never had it. I've never had Theobroma bicolor. I really would like to. I've tried to find it. When I was in Mexico, I went to a market that was recommended to me by Stephen Murray, who had been there and found Theobroma bicolor there. So I tried to find the same vendor that he did that was selling it. Couldn't find them. Jenna Fryer, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. She said, you're my favorite YouTuber. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I haven't had that one. I would like to. I would like to have the fruit, and I would like to have the chocolate made from the seeds. The good news is that in my cupboard of mystery, I do have some chocolate made from it. You can buy the chocolate of it. And I think maybe in a future live stream, I might do that. I wanted to wait to review that and make an episode out of it, but it's not really going according to plan. So I think maybe it'll end up in a live stream. But the reason why it's not going according to plan is there is a third Theobroma that people use to make chocolate. And this one I have reviewed the fruit of, but not the chocolate that's used, that is made out of the seeds. And that's the Copua soup, which I honestly, it's kind of failing me what the species name is on that. It's Theobroma, I want to say grandifolia, but I might be wrong. If anyone knows, feel free to drop that in the comments there. So Copua soup it looks like a big fuzzy football, and you crack that open, and it's also full of this creamy white flesh, and it tastes really good. I had it on the channel, and I actually went to a processing factory where they separate the flesh out from the pods and the seeds, and they grind it up and they freeze it and they sell it. It's a product that's available in South America, specifically around the Amazon. So I found it in Bolivia, but you could also find it like in Brazil, and a few other countries around that area will have it. And the flavor on it is like a little bit like chocolate, but it's also like every tropical fruit in the world, like smacking you in the face. So it has like a pineapple-y taste and a coconutty taste and like a little bit of a banana taste, and a little bit of like chocolate fruit taste. It's really, really good. It's actually a lot better than the regular Theobroma cacao fruit, which tastes kind of just like melon. I saw a comment asking for my cat. Let me see if I can get her over here. Hi, come here. Oh, she gets a little camera shy, but I think we got her. There we go. She's on screen. Yes, everybody. This is my cat, Vostok. So cute. I'm surprised. Like, usually when I'm sitting over here, she immediately wants to sit on me. So I was wondering if this would happen. So yeah, the reason why I haven't reviewed the Theobroma bicolored chocolate that's in my cupboard is I want to do a comparison of that with regular chocolate and Kopuasu chocolate. However, Kopuasu chocolate is really, really hard to find. There is one company that makes it in Brazil called Ama Chocolate. However, you can't find it unless you live in Brazil. I've tried to. I've tried to order it online. I've tried contacting the company to see if they would send me some. They won't do it. I think there might be like some sort of like trade law or something to that. So I haven't been able to do it. If anybody out there is watching from Brazil and knows where to get this, feel free to send me an email and maybe we can work. I'll send you a T-shirt or something, because I've been wanting to try that for a long time, and I would want to do a comparison of the three species of chocolate, not just one at a time. So yeah, that's the deal with that. That's the deal with reviewing other chocolate varieties. There is one other one that I reviewed in Borneo in one of my the videos I went to an agricultural park in this town, Tenom, Tenom. And if you search for those videos, I found one really rare relative of chocolate that's in the same family, but not the same genus. So it's like further removed. And that one was pretty interesting. It looked really weird. It had like a little like red like demon tongue look to it. I forget the name of it, but yeah, that was a nifty one. So if you're looking to see more videos of cacao relatives, I'd say check out the Kopuasu video and then check out that one. So I just got another super chat from Jonah Linde. Thank you so much. He sent 50 SEKs, which I don't know what that is, but thank you very much. He asked if there is a fruit that I want to try, but I haven't yet. Also, I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers. Good job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's nearly there. Nearly at 200,000. It's like 196 or something now, right? So that's so exciting to me. I only hit 100,000 like not that long ago, just within the past 6 months or something. So I know. She's showing off now. She wants you to see her. And your question was if there's any fruit that I want to try but I haven't yet. Yes, there is. There's a lot of fruit that I want to try but I haven't yet. The white whale that I've brought up in the past is actually from the same park that has the weird cacao relative that is in the same family but a different genus as cacao. The place I found that also had a tree of the fruit that I want to try more than anything else, which is called the kasusu. You're too cute. See, I'm holding the cat, and now the super chats come in because obviously this is for the cat. Lil Bailey just sent you $1, Vostok, and you've earned it for being cute. Yeah. Thank you very much, Lil Bailey. Um, yeah, the kasusu is a really, really cool looking fruit. It looks like a ball of corn niblets with little brown pears shoved into it. It's really, really alien looking. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it tastes like, but it's so weird looking that I really, really want to. I know. I really, really want to review it on the channel. I've been wanting to try that one for a really long time. But yeah, I found the tree at this agricultural park in Borneo, but it wasn't in season. I guess it has a really weird growing season. It doesn't grow every year even. So when I went there, it wasn't ready. And I've heard it's really good. So I'm going to have to go to Borneo again at some point, I think, in order to try this thing and hope that I get lucky. But it's one of those ones where it's so rare that, you know, you have to be there at just the right time in order to try it. So hopefully it'll happen eventually. All right. So I'm going to take a moment here to drink some water, pet the cat. And then I think let's do we'll do the review of the dried fruit. Oh, so we got 2 super chats at once. Thank you so much. Let me, LC said, this is also for the cat. I hope you can start traveling soon. Well, she says you're welcome. Me too. I hope I can travel again soon. From how things are going, it seems like it hopefully will be by the summer. once things get a little bit easier with traveling, there's more vaccinations out there and less restrictions, then it'll be as soon as I can do it safely, I'm going to do it. So I've been making plans and, you know, at least in my head, of places I'd like to go. And as soon as I can get on a plane safely, I'm going to do it. And thank you, LC. HBB said, of all the countries I visited, which one would I live in and why? That is a good question. I'm going to be surrounded by a cloud of cat hair now, just so you know. So if I'm like rubbing my nose and like brushing myself, it's because of her. Yeah, that's right. Scratch your ear so you kick more hair up into the air. That's a good girl. Okay. Anywhere I'd live, I would say Kuala Lumpur. And I say that because I was over that way. I worked in Malaysia for 3 winters, altogether about 9 months. And I love it there. It's odd because like not a lot of people visit Malaysia. They'll go to Penang Island, which is known for their food. But KL itself, like the main city of Malaysia itself, is not very well visited. So when I went there, every tourist I came across was just like stopping off because that's where their flight came in and then they left. But I was working near there, and because of that, I got to explore the city, and it's just so chill. Like, for one, almost everybody in KL speaks English. It's kind of used as a bridge language because in Kuala Lumpur, people speak 3 different languages. There's people who are speaking, I believe, because there's like 3 main communities there. There's a Chinese community, an Indian community, and a Malay community. So because of that, there's multiple languages that people speak. And they use either English or Malay as kind of like a bridge language so people can talk to each other at, you know, like in any sort of situation. So because of that, it's very easy to get around. Don't knock that over, honey. That's not a toy. And she's worried. I think Vostok might be worried because you know what they call one of these, right? This like gray thing. It's called a dead cat. Like it's not real. It's okay. So because of that, it's a really easy place to live. It's really chill, and because there's so many different communities of people there, like as a traveler, as a tourist that's obviously not from there, people leave me alone. Like if when I walk down the street in Bangkok, people like come up to me because I stand out as like a foreigner. In Malaysia, people don't care. Like for the most part, like you walk down the street, unless you're walking through like a bus station or like a souvenir shop, no one's gonna hassle you. So it's an easy place to live. People stay out of your way. It's kind of like New York. People are chill. It's very it's got like a lot of really good markets to it. So I'd probably get like a lot of content for the channel, which is good. So it's somewhere that I would like to go to again. I don't think I would live there just because I have my roots here in New York. But if I couldn't live in New York and I could live anywhere else, it would probably be KL. And I know that I like it there because I've spent so much time there. I know that it would be somewhere that I would be able to get by comfortably. I'd be happy there. There'd be like a lot of stuff to do. It's like New York in that way. And yeah, I say that's it. I think if it were somewhere else, I would have to like severely vet it. Anywhere that I was going to live, I'd have to like give it like a trial run for like a long time. And that place I have. I saw a couple of other super chats here. Joshua Mijet, thank you so much. And Drift's Garden said, I am new to a vegan diet. Do I have any vegan dishes that I recommend to try and cook? Yeah. Check out if you didn't see it already, check out my last ketchup video where I made goldenberry ketchup, because in that video I make bean burgers. That's a really handy one. If you're able to eat massive amounts of gluten without any issue, you can do a lot of cool things with seitan. You buy like gluten, vital wheat gluten, and you can make your own fake meat with that. But I'd say like the biggest trick to being a vegetarian or a vegan is just look towards other countries' food, because I think a lot of people, they try veganism and they try all this fake meat and stuff like that, and they're like, I hate this. Like, this isn't like a hamburger. It tastes like a bunch of beans. And I think one way of looking at it is, instead of trying to create vegetarian versions of food that you like, which will probably disappoint you if it's your first time having it, and you're expecting to bite into a bean burger and it be a hamburger, it's not going to be. But if you look into like Indian food or Chinese food, has a lot of really good options too. If you're cooking for yourself, you can do so much. I've been I cook a lot of my own meals, and every day I'm cooking like from another country, and that's because I'm not just trying to have American food. I want things that are going to be a little bit more diverse than that. And when you're looking at other countries, you'll find foods that are just like naturally vegetarian. You're not, or it can be made vegetarian easily. So that's what I would recommend. Like, learn how to make Indian food, and like you're set. Like, there's so many options. Yeah, good question. Very good question. And yeah, and that's coming from somebody who's been a vegetarian their whole life, but is really bored with their taste buds. It's one of the things I love about traveling, is that you can try so many different things. And, like, sometimes it's tricky with being a vegetarian, but a lot of times you just find that there are a lot of foods that are naturally vegetarian. Sometimes unexpected. Like in Bolivia, there's like a ton of vegetarian restaurants there, it's not a vegetarian friendly place, like, generally. But for whatever reason, I think people liked vegetarianism as like a health thing. They would have a vegetarian meal for lunch, and then have like meat for dinner. So because of that, you can find vegetarian places there. Oh, and check out the app Happy Cow. Happy Cow is It's a map that's kind of like Google Maps for vegetarians and vegans, and it's worldwide. So it'll show you places like vegetarian restaurants and vegan restaurants and shops and places that aren't vegetarian but will serve vegetarian food or can make food that is sort of vegetarian. It's gotten me out of binds, like actually like in the middle of Borneo, like in a small, I think I was in oh, I can't think of the name, but it wasn't like a major city. It was like a smaller town, like kind of like into the interior of Borneo. A very hard to access place. And I think I had to take like a 4x4 to get there. They showed up on Happy Cow. Like it's pretty amazing. And Happy Cow watches the channel too. Like they've sent me emails before, like one of the guys that runs it. So yeah, I like Happy Cow. Not a sponsor or anything, but like I use it, and they like the channel. So yeah, check out Happy Cow if you want to find some vegetarian restaurants. So okay, so I've got. You are so cute. You're just the cutest little thing. All right, so I think I have some other things to do. Right, I need to review these fruits. I totally forgot the main attraction. So for those that weren't here at the beginning, I have freeze-dried fruit with me today. This is freeze-dried Aki. I'm not going to get too close to the camera because I don't want to disrupt my adorable cat. But you can see there also, I think the screenshot for this live stream is this. And this was, hey, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't do anything and you fell off my lap just like totally on your own. So this is freeze-dried Aki Fruit, which was sent to me by Miami Fruit. They sent this to me like a while ago, but it's freeze-dried. So, lasts like a really, really long time. It's like what astronauts eat, right? And I'm really curious about this. Cat's gone, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to watch. There's like 250 people watching now. It's just going to go down to 10. I know. She might come back. But I can get closer now. So you can see there. It's going to focus on my face. But there we go. So that is the freeze-dried Aki Fruit. It turns brown a little bit when it freeze dries. I'm going to stumble over that one. When you freeze dry it, it turns a little bit brown, apparently. But this was sent to me by Miami Fruit a long time ago. I don't think that they have Aki on their store, but they do have freeze-dried Aki. And I'm going to try this first, and then Djibouti Kaba, because Djibouti Kabas are very strong in flavor. Aki is fairly mild. If you haven't seen my Aki video, it's kind of like a cross between avocados and almonds. Got like a little bit of like a nuttiness to it, maybe a little bit like a silken tofu in texture. Some people say it tastes like eggs. Doesn't really taste like eggs, but it has like a texture that's maybe a little bit like eggs. It's really, really good. Super poisonous, by the way, if you eat the seeds, or if you eat the shell, or if you eat it when it is unripe. And usually the fruit itself is cooked when you prepare it. So I'm guessing that this has been cooked, or freeze drying helps get rid of some of that compound that's in there. But it's the fruit itself is not like, it's not like super poisonous or anything. It's like unless it's unripe. So this should be fine to eat. You maybe don't want to eat like a ton of it unless it's cooked. But this amount should be fine. Oh. Wow. That is how can I put this into words? It tastes like dried cheddar cheese. Like almost exactly. It's got a very strong cheddar flavor to it. Yo, yeah, that is something special. Yeah, for yeah, any like vegan restaurant owners out there, like this is a way to get the flavor of cheddar for sure. Like this is a very distinctly cheddar flavor, like sharp cheddar though. Like it's got a like almost like a little bit bitter. It is a little bit bitter, but it tastes like seriously sharp cheddar, like extra, extra, extra sharp cheddar, like aged for like years cheddar, which is, in my opinion, a very good thing. Like as I said, I'm not a vegan. I'm vegetarian. I'll eat cheese, and I like my cheddar like super, super sharp. That is what this tastes like. But it has like that, like a freeze dried texture. So it's kind of like crunchy, like a. Not sure how to describe that texture. It's maybe like a little bit like somewhere between like a nut and a cheese doodle. It's like it got like a little bit of an airiness to it, but yeah, that's something special. That's actually really, really good. And I could see like grinding these up and using them as like an instant macaroni and cheese powder or something, because that's kind of what it reminds me of, is like not like Kraft or anything because it's like too sharp, but like if dried macaroni and cheese powder were made out of like actual cheese, um it would be kind of like that. Like that, like this, even though doesn't have any milk in it, this tastes more like cheese than the cheese that's in a box of Kraft. That's yeah, that's saying something. That's really good. That is really, really good. And I want to swish this out like a little bit though. So there's like the difference between freeze dried Aki and freeze dried Djibouti Kaba is going to be like they're like as far from each other as you could possibly be. I don't really want those flavors mixing. Although I guess maybe it'll be like, you know, taking a piece of cheese and putting some jam on it, maybe. But I think those guys are going to fight. So I'm going to cleanse my palate. All right, and I got a little jar of freeze-dried Djibouti Kabas. These were not sent to me by Miami Fruit. These were sent to me by Flying Fox Fruit, which I've visited. That's like Adam, who I visited his farm. Well, maybe not farm, but he grows plants. I guess it's a farm, like a small farm. And I visited like way at the beginning of when I started making videos, like a long, long time ago, like 7 years ago or something. And yeah, he gave me the Patanga tuba, which is like a little soft fruit that tastes really, really good, like between a mango and a star fruit kind of flavor. So that's a video that you may have seen. It's one of the more popular ones. But Djibouti Kaba. Let's get nice and close. Let's get my face out of the way so you can see it. There it is, nice and freeze dried. All right. Oh, yeah. That is powerful. That is a powerful fruit. Very sour. Which is surprising because Djibouti Kabas, I don't remember being super sour. They taste a little bit like blueberry yogurt. Not that when they're fresh, like blueberry yogurt when they're fresh. Maybe a little bit of a grape flavor as well. I don't recall them having like a huge amount of tartness. Maybe, you know, some, but not like a huge amount. These are very tart. I'd say that this is like a 7 out of 10, maybe. And the texture on it is really nice. It reminds me of like eating cereal. It's got like a nice crunch to it, like biting into like Kicks or like Captain Crunchberry or something like that. Yeah, that's these would be very addictive. Like the Aki is something that is something that it'd be good out of hand, but I can see cooking with that. Djibouti kaba are like a little snack. Like I would put a bowl of these out and just like eat them like this. And the flavor of that is different than when you have it fresh. They both are, but that one is different when you have it fresh. It tastes more like berries. I guess like maybe a bit like blueberry, but a sour blueberry. Maybe a touch of like a blackberry to it. And the yogurt-like flavor that it normally would have, I'm not really getting it. Not so much, though. I'm a little bit. I'm getting it a little bit. There's like a little bit of like a creaminess to it. But I wouldn't have thought that unless I've had it fresh already. But yeah, that's actually incredibly good. Both of these are. So yeah, thank you to MiamiFruit.org. I think they sell them on their website, and Flying Fox Fruits. I'm not sure if Flying Fox Fruits sells those or not, but yeah, thank you to both of you. I usually try not to mix my companies together in the same video, but I think like this was just made a lot of sense. I just happened to have in my cupboard of mystery here 2 freeze-dried fruits, so yeah, these are both really, really good. And what's interesting is that freeze drying changes the flavor so drastically. It's nice, but it's a completely different taste. And I haven't really had a whole lot of stuff like that. I guess I've had, someone gave me like some freeze-dried snacks once that like they're like blackberries or something, and it was like they taste like something completely different. Maybe like a strong cereal or like a type of like airy candy or something. It like brings out like a lot of intensity of the flavor. So I think you're tasting some of the compounds that maybe get lost when you have it fresh. So that's cool. All right, so I think that might be all of my orders of business. Let me check my little thing here. Oh, I wanted to mention that I'm not sure if I brought this up in the last live stream or not, but I now have a combo deal on my website. So if you ever wanted to get a t-shirt, one of my t-shirts, I now have an offer where you can get a durian shirt, which has the durian design. I should have brought one over here. And also the mandrake shirt, which has a mandrake root design on it. You can get both, and I think it's $6 off if you get both. So you get like a pretty good deal. I think it's like $34 for 2 shirts. So those are available. I've got that. I think I'm going to keep that sale going as long as I have the inventory for it. And also I have banana bandanas in stock. So it's like a bandana, for the COVID times, but it's got a cool design of bananas on it. Also, like, they're all anatomical drawings, by the way. So they're really kind of like, sophisticated looking. And that one, I do have one. That one I have, just happen to have one over here. So here's the bandana. These are probably going to be phasing out pretty soon. I feel like a lot of people have masks now. You probably have more masks than you know what to do with at this point with the pandemic going on for like a year. But so I think this is probably gonna be the last run of these after I sell off what I have. If I sell them all, then I think that's gonna be the end. So if unless a ton of people want them, but I don't see that happening. So if you want to get this, I think now limited edition bandana, these are available. I got one last order in. I think that's going to be it. One thing I got a negative comment the other day. Somebody said that they don't like the material on it. So if you bought one of these and you're wondering why it's like scratchy, you got to wash it. like these things shrink when you wash them. So you put them a little bit. So you put these through the washer and dryer, and then it like gets a lot softer. If you don't do that, then it's like the fabric is kind of like scratchy. You gotta like relax the material a little bit. Also, whether or not you get this, if you want to wear a bandana, I highly recommend putting a slip knot on one of these. So you tie one end to the other end like that. That way it's adjustable. Otherwise the thing will like slip. So little pro tip if anyone wants to wear a bandana. If you want, I'll give you a closer look so you know what I'm talking about. So you have, this is one end. You tie a little knot on one side of it. Here's the other end. I tied that to the other end, and that allows you to adjust it like that. Sometimes it takes a little extra effort to do it. I'm pulling on the wrong side. Yeah, there you go. So you can loosen it. And this is super handy for people like me who wear glasses, because you know, like how you wear a mask and it fogs up your glasses. It's because like you have the two little holes here, and your air will go up into your glasses. With this, you have the vent down below. So when you put this on and you breathe, it doesn't force up into your eyes. Any kind of extra air will go from down below. So that's what I usually wear. Is I wear one of these just because of that issue. That's exciting, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to take some questions. If anyone has any questions, let me have it. I'm going to take another maybe like 5-10 minutes here to answer some questions. You don't have to super chat. If anyone wants to super chat, I'll answer that first. But anything that pops up that I catch, be happy to answer. Have I ever eaten sallow fruit? I don't think so. I'm not sure what that is. Mike Tilley asked if I've had May apple. Yes. I have a May apple video coming up soon. It's in the backlog. For those that don't know, I film like 6 months of material at a time, and I'll have it in the backlog. And the reason why I do that is that sometimes things need a little bit more time. And sometimes I come across other varieties and stuff like that that'll add into the video. So I like having that in case I find more information as I'm researching it. I'll be like, I reviewed the May apple, but what if I happen to go to a farmer's market and somebody's selling May apple jam or something? Then I would pick that up and I would plug it into the video. So that's one reason. Also, I'm worried about the day that I run out of fruit. There is enough fruit in the world, but the fruit that I'll be able to find, I don't see it happening anytime soon. But if I like to have like a cushion of a fruit available, about 6 months worth, that way I can kind of like pace out how many I put out. And if I get to a point where I'm like, oh no, I'm only down to like 3 months worth of fruit, then I'll probably like reduce the amount of videos I put out. Instead of 3 videos, I'll do like 2 or 1 or something. So I want to be able to consistently every week put out footage. So that's why I did the 6 months. And yeah, May apples are in the backlog. I got some really cool things in the backlog beyond that too. One that is coming out pretty soon, a big one, is buffalo gourd. That's going to be a big one. I was working on that earlier today. That's going to be a cool one. I got a toothache plant coming out for an amazing plant. That's going to be a good one. And then like a ton of citruses. But beyond that, it's going to be a while. Probably May apple next month, maybe. Where did I get my cat? Benjamin asks. I got my cat from an adoption shelter. It was kind of a weird situation. They're not around anymore either. I tried looking them up, and I think they didn't last. But I went there, and it was like 2 like older eccentric ladies living in a brownstone in Manhattan. It's expensive. They probably had been there for a really long time, And I was expecting to like walk into like an adoption shelter. This was like two ladies who just like let their home overrun with animals. So I walked through the door and there were like cats running up to me and dogs, and there were just like animals everywhere. They took good care of them, but if they weren't an adoption agency, I'd be concerned, and they were like very like attached to their animals too. And I had seen her, my cat Bostock. I'd seen her on a Pet Finder, like one of those sites, and this adoption agency like came up. So the reason why I like my cat in particular is that she had the two different colored eyes, heterochromia, I think it's called. So because of that, I was like, that's it. I'm like a David Bowie fan. I wanted a cat, and I saw a cat with two different colored eyes. I was like, that I gotta at least meet this beautiful animal. So I went there, and there's like animals everywhere. A cat runs up to me like immediately, like just begging for me to take them, and they're like, "Oh, that's Sam. He's already taken." It's like, oh, I could tell. Very, very charismatic cat. So I'm going through, and like all these animals are like coming up to me, like, take me. And then they show me Vostok, my cat. She wasn't named Vostok when I got her. That's my doing. And she was hiding inside a cat tree, like one of those like little things, like a little hole hiding in the back, with a book in front of her. And I guess like that was her spot. That was her hiding place. And I went over there, and they took the book away, and this sweet little cat like looked at me with her big eyes, and then ran like hell. She ran as fast as she could when she saw me, and I was just like, I just saw those eyes, and I'm like, I don't care. Maybe she's going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm taking her home. And they tried to get me to take a second cat, like as adoption agencies would. They're like, oh, well, you sure you don't want to get a friend for her, so she doesn't get lonely? It's good to have two pets, like two cats. And she wasn't like bonded with anybody or any of the other cats. So I said like, well, I don't know. She seems very skittish. Does she get along with any of the other cats? And the woman said, oh, yeah. Chloe really likes her. This cat here, Chloe. So like Chloe like walks over right up to my cat and smacks her in the face and then walks away. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just get the one. I think I'm just going to get one. Doesn't look like they get along too famously. So she's very she's a bit skittish, but she's very, very sweet. Like she doesn't like other animals. She's like a little leery of other people, but after like a few minutes, she'll love anybody. She's a very, very sweet cat. Let's see. Luke just did a super chat. He said, what exotic fruit that I can get easily in the U.S. that I would suggest a beginner trying? Well, thank you very much, Luke. First of all, that's a good question. It really depends on where you live. In New York, I'm kind of spoiled here because we have so many different communities that you find some very interesting fruit if you go to an Asian supermarket or one that sells like Latin American products. There's a few like African markets and Indian markets. So what I do is I tend to visit places where people have a familiarity with some fruit that would be more exotic to people in the U.S. So I would say beyond just like looking for any particular fruit, you should see if you have any supermarkets near you that are catering towards like a different community, like a community from another country, because you'll be surprised what you can find. Like I've seen things in New York that were very surprising, just like that I'd only seen at one little market, like out in like Malaysia, and then I'm looking at it in Queens. Like it's something that you'd be surprised if you go to a supermarket. that that is catering towards another group, or even like a smaller market. Sniff around, go in a few times. It might depend on the season, and something interesting will pop up. Or if you have a Whole Foods, they usually have like jackfruit there now, and interesting bananas and stuff like that. They're expensive usually, but even just like picking up like a different type of banana will be kind of like an experience, because like the bananas we have, they kind of like boring. They don't really taste like anything. But then you have a Thai banana. It's like, oh my God, it's actually what a banana is supposed to taste like. So I'm going to answer one more question, and I think we'll wrap it up. It's been about an hour. So guys, thank you so much for joining the stream. Let's see. Have I cultivated any fruit? Nope, can't grow a thing. I should try Keppel fruit. I agree. Whoa, lot of... Graham really wants me to answer a fruit that has an amazing blue color. I've never heard of that, Graham. I'm sorry. Opinion on mulberries? I like them. I'd like to do another video on mulberries. Especially comparing like a white mulberry with a red one, something like that. Any places upstate that I know of? Try Wegmans. Wegmans is good if you have one of those near you. What is the painting behind you in the background of some of my videos that looks like a white ghost lady and has a black background? Good question. My sister made that. My sister is a painter. He used to paint a lot, and that is a painting that she made for me. It's not supposed to be me, she said, but what she did to make that painting is she painted a black canvas. She did it completely black, and like, I guess let it dry or whatever. And then just without any kind of reference or anything, she said that she just like thought about me and then like let her hand move. So she didn't know what she was making when she made it. So it's not supposed to be me, but it is like whatever kind of ethereal thing came to her mind when she was kind of like meditating on me and my birthday. So I'm pleased with that. I'm like, if that's what comes to mind, like this beautiful painting of like this creepy ghost woman or whatever, when you think about me, I'd say that's pretty good. And there's another one behind me here. I'm actually going to turn off the camera in a moment because we're nearing the end. So I'll show you a glimpse of the one above me. Also, that's one of hers as well. And I think that's the only, there's two pieces that she did. There's the one there and the one above the couch. And then I've got a couple other paintings around as well that might pop up in a video. But those two are actual paintings that my sister did. So a few people asking to see them up close at some point. Yeah. I think in the future. I'm sorry, I keep scratching my nose. It's like I'm covered in cat hair. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but that cat just like hopped up, furred me, like all his fur. So I'm like breathing it in. I'm not allergic, but with enough cat hair, it does affect you either way. And yeah, what I was going to say is that I would like to do another apartment walkthrough video at some point. I do have one that's up. I think it's called like My Gothic Transforming Apartment. So if you look up that video, I think I show the paintings in that, but it's like a walkthrough of my apartment, like what I did with it. So yeah, one bit of news though is that since the pandemic happened, I've been like trapped indoors so much. I've been doing a lot of renovating. So I think in at some point, I'm going to do another walkthrough video to show like what has happened to this place within the past year. You may notice like in when I'm doing reviews now, I have like this big cabinet that I'm working on. That's a Hoosier cabinet, which is it's like the Swiss Army blade of furniture. It's got all these like different functions in it. It's yeah, it's a cool one. I got a few really interesting like antique pieces over the past year of being in quarantine. So I'll probably show those off at some point. But yeah, keep your eyes open in the videos. You might notice like a few changes have been made. So I'm going to show you. So I think that is all of the super chats. I don't think I missed anybody. Sorry if I did. And I'll show you the painting, and then we're gonna clear out. So let me looking at my hand for a second. Sorry, let me just adjust the camera there. And yeah, there is the other painting my sister did right there. So. So there you have it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do another live stream probably next month. I want to do it like at the beginning of every month. So probably April, maybe not April 1st, because everyone will think it's like some joke or something. So like April 2nd or April 3rd or something, I'll do another live stream. So I'll see you then. And yeah, check the channel tomorrow evening. I'll be posting the first of many very interesting citrus reviews tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.